touch it.
Yeah.
Он потом помнит, не поехал, лучше нет его там.
Please, if you want to sit down, please sit down. Everyone have a copy? Does everyone have a copy?
Yes.
This is yours, huh? This is yours.
Family, I would ask though, if you have a cell phone, if you would place it in the silent mode at this time or turn it completely off. Services will be conducted by Rabbi Eliezer Demarsky.
מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי לא יחסור, בנוסדש ירביצני, על מי מנוחוס ינחלני, נפשי שובב ינחני במעגלי צדק למען שמו. גם כלב בגיא צלמוות לא ירא כי אתה עמדי, שבתך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי, דשמת בשמן ראשי כוס רוויה. אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. Today we mourn a tremendous loss in Allah's family. And I don't think we can find any words to express the feeling that each of the family members and friends experience today. Feelings of Allah's loss, Marina's, Svetlana's, Yura's. And even though each one of you created a special and unique relationship with your father, with your brother, with your husband, but all these relationships are equally very, very important, very meaningful, and occupied the big part of your life. Lenya was a self-made man. He was proud of it, and everything he achieved in his life wasn't given to him. He had to work hard. Every single achievement, any time of his life, in any country he lived. And because that everything he worked hard for, that's why he cherished every achievement and used it as an opportunity to celebrate. He didn't take any gifts that he had in life, he didn't take them for granted. Every single thing was a result of a hard work and reason to celebrate. And of course, his greatest achievement was his family. Alla, Marina, Sveta, Rafaela. And he never ceased to remind himself that this is his biggest achievement and the biggest pride in his life. When he came here to the United States, he started from zero and built and built and built, and as a result created a beautiful home for Allah, for his daughters, a home that nurtured, raised his family, a home that always was open to other people, regardless of age, generation. Everybody was welcome. Very often home is a reflection of who we are. And he built a big home for one person, for one purpose. The home that can host many people. A big backyard that can host many celebrations. He was a very gifted person. And everything that he had was used to improve and to brighten the life of people around him. And even though he had many setbacks, many challenges in his life, we know that person is valued not by how many times he falls, but how many times he gets up and continues moving forward. And even his last series of sicknesses for him was another challenge that he knew he would overcome. And we can say that to the big degree he did overcome, because we are measured and we are judged only by things that within our capabilities. And whatever was within his abilities, his spirit never failed. His desire to fight and to continue living never failed. Because Leonid loved life so much, that's why it's so much harder to see life taken away from him. Even though he loved to be with people, to make new friends, new relationships, new connections, but he never wanted his own pain to be somebody else's pain. And therefore, when he was in pain, he didn't want his family to be involved, and always would say, "Go home, I'm fine, go." But we know how much he wanted to be with his loved ones. And despite of all this quarantine and restrictions, he was able in the end to be with his family. And they were able to be with him and to say goodbye. Even though today we look at as a book that last chapter is written down, but it's not necessarily true, because the people who he invested in, Alla, Marina, Sveta, Yura, Rafaela, his people at work, who he felt responsible, like a father for the big family. As long as these people will carry on his values and his attitude to life, there will be many more chapters written in the book of his life. So this is not the end. His life will continue through so many people who he loved and took care of. And before I continue, I would like to invite Sveta to say a few words.
I wore Leonya's Green Bay Packers mask for him because I got this for him for Father's Day because he was the best father. The first thing people usually notice about me when I say Leonya, or for those who don't know me, is why do you call your dad Leonya instead of Dad? And I don't remember how it started, but it was when I was a teenager. I just started calling him Leonya because he wasn't just a dad to me, he was my best friend. He was my best friend. He always is my best friend. And for those who know me, know that if I had a choice of hanging out with friends or my parents, I would choose my parents 100% of the time because Leonya's so amazing. But I never had to make that choice because in our family, friends and family weren't separated. We were always the same. If friends were there, Leonya was there, and if Leonya was there, my friends could be there because Leonya was just the best person. Everyone was welcome, and he treated you like family, and it didn't matter if he knew you, if you were family, if you were a friend, or if you were just a person he met that day. He treated you like you were family, especially if you sat next to him at the table. Then you were definitely in for a night of good drinks and some silotka, and no meant yes, please, more. So he always took care of you because that he was just the best person. And he was always so kind and generous. He would do anything for anyone. He was thoughtful, and he would always remember anniversaries, birthdays, even random holidays. He would call me and say, "Why haven't you called me all day? It's Columbus Day. You have to wish me a happy Columbus Day." I think it was just an excuse to call and be funny because he had the best sense of humor. Be like, "It's Columbus Day. We need to celebrate Saturday. I've already picked out the wine." Be like, "Okay, I'm so sorry. Let's do it." And even when Ludochka called us, she said the same thing. She said he would always know every random holiday to call her on and to wish her a happy whatever day because he was just so thoughtful. He had the best sense of humor. He was so funny. I don't know. I think I'm funny, but he really is the funniest person in the world. He's so funny and he's so humorous and he has the best way to tell stories. You want to laugh at his stories even before he gets to the punchline because he's just such a presence and character, and he just engulfs you in his presence. And that's what I'm going to miss the most, is just the way he tells stories and his voice and his giant laugh, and how thoughtful he was and how he loved random little surprises, whether it was getting flowers or something nice for my mom or toys for Raphael or random things for me. Raphael and I have a favorite toy that he gave me. He gave me this weird monkey light that changes colors that Raphael gravitates to like a magnet, and I prominently display in my home, and it was just a random gift, a surprise, and we love it. And he just does random things to make you happy and smile, and it's so random. You love it because it's so funny. It comes from him, and it's so funny. And I'm going to miss those surprises because I don't need a monkey light, but I loved it, and it's my favorite thing I've ever gotten from him because it came from him. And the idea that there won't be surprises like that makes me sad because all those things mean so much to me. I love those surprises, except for his last surprise, the surprise that he didn't come back from the hospital. We hate that surprise, Leonya. But I know that you fought, and he fought really hard because he was a fighter. И он сказал, все время нужно бороться, and I know he did. I know he fought, и он боролся до конца. And so we all keep saying it's not fair that he had to go so early, but we have to think of it a different way. Not everyone had a Leonia like we did in our life. Not everyone was lucky enough to have a Leonia. And we got to have him for 68 years. So we should feel bad for people who didn't get to have him. That's what's unlucky. We're the lucky ones that we got him for so long. And like Rabbi said, he's gonna live on in all of us. And we're not saying goodbye today. We just have to live life like he would have. There's nobody that loved life more than Leonid. Nobody. He wanted to celebrate Random Tuesdays. He wanted to celebrate Columbus Day. He just wanted people together to be eating and to be happy. And so we have to do that for him now. So we have to celebrate the Random Tuesdays and Columbus Day for him. And if we do that, then he's always going to be with us. And that's how we're going to remember him. Because he truly, truly was the best person ever.
I never thought about Leona, Allah, and their family like friends. So, sorry, they're our family, part of our family. Leona was like a brother to me, like the brother I never had. He called my mama, mama. There are so many things to celebrate about Leona, so many good memories. So we've always been together, vacationing, all holidays together. So kids grew up, all weddings, grandchildren. So Leona loved life. So we always remember him like this. So he never was upset about anything. And I'm so grateful that we have Leona, Alla, and Marinочка, Svetочка, Rafaela, all in our lives. I still remember when we just came here, and I was so miserable. I wanted to go back home, and he was driving me around Волмет, Винетка, Kenilworth, and he was telling me, Западинская, перестань плакать. Зачем тебе эта Одесса? Будешь учиться хорошо, тоже будешь так жить. Я благодарна Ленчику за все, что он был в нашей жизни. И вам за то, что вы есть в нашей жизни. И, Светочка, ты правильно сказала, надо celebrate life за Леню, потому что невозможно в это поверить, знаешь, что его больше с нами нет. Я больше не могу.
Leonia was and is a great example of a man, of a husband and a father. He knew how to cherish every moment of life and not take for granted. And like everybody said here, to use every opportunity to celebrate. It's an amazing gift to look only at the positive. And the negative things, look at this just temporary thing, but the rest of life, it's a one big, good, happy, positive place. That's how he lived, and that's how he projected this attitude to everyone around him. This day, all persons' achievements are being weighed, taken into consideration. And God, who gives life, who takes away life, who grants the person the place in the afterlife based on how he lived, what we know about Leonia's life, he should be granted the highest possible place among the most righteous. And I'll say this prayer in Hebrew and ask everybody to say Amen in the end. El Malarachamim Shoichen Bamrovomim Hamtze Menucha Nechona Al Kanfei Ashchina B'malos Gdoshim V'torim Ki Zohar Rakiya Mazchirim Es nishmas Leonid ben Moisei shelach לעולמו. בעבור שמשפחתה תיתן לצדוקה בת אזכורס נשמסו, בגן עדן תהיה מנוחסו. לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירהו בססר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים אס נשמסו, אדוני הוא נחלתו. וינוח בשלום על משכבו, ונאמר אמן. אמן. עצורתם מפרלוכי כל דרכיו משפט ירום נבל וצדיק ויושר הוא עצורתם בכל פעם ויאמר למה תפעל אשת מנו מל מריס מחיים ולשאול ויעל עצורתם בכל מעשה ויאמר לו מה תעשה אומר ועשה חסד גנום עשה ובזכות נקרא עשה השיבה ועשה צדיק בכל דרכיו עצורתם ממר כפיים ולרחמים חמלנו וחוס נעבוס ובונים כלחדנו סליחוס ורחמים צדיק כתתנה לעמיס לאחיוס אשר ביתך בגדול כל רוחוס חלילו לך זיכרוננו למחוס ויונח ברחמים עלינו בכחוס כלחדנו רחמים והסליחוס אדם בן שנה יהיה לשנים יחיה מייסרון כלו יהיה ברוך דיין אמס ממיס ומחיה ברוך הוא כי אמס דינו משת הכל בינו משלם לאדם חשבונו ודינו כל לשמו ידעייתנו ידען אדוני כי צדק משפטיך תצדק בדבריך תזכה בשבטיך ואין לחרחר אחר מידה שפטיך צדיק אתה אדוני וישר משפטיך דיין אמס שוב צדק ואמס ברוך דיין אמס שכל משפטיך צדק ואמס נפש כל חי בידיך צדק מלאים איתך בדיך רחם על פליטת צאן ידיך ושמר למלאך ערף ידיך גדול עצה ורב עלייה אשר עיניך בחוסר כל דרכי בני אדם לסיסס כדרכיו וכפרים על עליו להגיד כי ישר הנצר לסובו אדוני נשן ואדוני לקח יהיה שם אדוני מברך והוא רחום יכפר עוון לא ישס ובא להשיב פה ולא יאיר כל חמסו. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם דיין האמת.
Good idea to sit on this. I'm sorry.
birth from Israel together with Leonia as a reminder of Jewish connection to the land of Israel. Я вас приглашаю во-первых, одеть перчатки и бросить несколько лопат земли на могилу. Можете подойти с двух сторон. Потом лопату оставьте в земле, не передавайте. Sorry. I invite you to come from both sides and put few shovels of earth on the grave. Да, пожалуйста, осторожно. You can come from both sides, and then when you're done, just put it back to the ground. Do not pass to each other. would ask everybody. Maybe here. I would ask everybody except for a family to make 2 lines here, a corridor, and you will pass through. This is 1 line, another line. Когда семья проходит, мы говорим традиционную фразу соболезнования, она говорится на иврите, она значит: пусть Всевышний успокоит вас в вашем горе, как и всех скорбящих о Сионе Иерусалиме. Проходите, пожалуйста, please go through. Амоком, Гинахем, Эсхем, Высох, Шиар, Авелей, Сион, Иерусалим.